Bloody Moon is a 1981 Euro trash slasher from exploitation legend Jess Franco. It was a German-Spanish co-production which found itself on the infamous UK video Nasties list. It's Franco's take on the popular at the time slasher film, yielding some amusing and entertainingly bad results.
Leave me alone. Oh, someone help, please.
A deformed man named Miguel stabs a woman to death with scissors while wearing a Mickey Mouse mask. After spending 5 years in the insane asylum, Miguel's released into the custody of his sister, with whom he is having an incestuous relationship with. They both return to the estate of the murderers, which is now being turned into a language school, owned and operated by their aunt. A new student named Angela arrives, and Miguel instantly becomes infatuated with her. Soon the murders begin again, but no one believes Angela as the killer toys with her and kills her new friends. Is Miguel back to his murderous ways? Don't panic, it only happens every once in a bloody moon.
Now, we can't guarantee that your brother is totally cured, and therefore you must always keep your eyes open. Do you understand?
I'd do anything in the world to see him get well, but you don't really believe, Doctor, in the possibility of his having another attack.
Believe me, I wouldn't release your brother in that case, but you've got to understand there's always a risk.
Bloody Moon is a trashy and cheap slasher that managed to feature some original kills and a decent helping of sleaze. The film has some nice murder set pieces and a few original deaths, like the scene where a woman is stabbed in the back and the knife blade exits through her nipple. The most infamous scene is the classic decapitation by saw scene that is prominently featured on the DVD cover. Although it's the film's best kill and most suspenseful, the effects in the scene are subpar and ironically not very convincing. My favorite scene in the movie involves a peeping Tom kid who tries to rescue the soon-to-be beheaded student only to end up getting ran over by the killer. It's a rather ballsy and darkly comical scene.
Miguel! You didn't kill her, did you?
Why do you keep on gaping at me like that? What am I, Frankenstein's daughter?
The characters in the film are more stupider than usual for a horror movie. It's comical that no one else finds it unsettling or inappropriate that a guy who murdered a chick is now working back at the same place the crime occurred. And wouldn't that make Angela's claims of murders and dead bodies seem at least plausible or worth investigating? Instead, everyone acts like she's delusional or confused, while the body count rises. The ineptness of the supporting characters is highly amusing. The main character Angela is rather bland, and the supporting cast isn't very memorable. The deformed Miguel and his sister are the most interesting characters, and their relationship is central to the film's murder plot. The acting is lousy, and the dubbing is even worse in Bloody Moon. The film has some extremely bizarre and unintentionally hilarious dialogue. On the plus side, the movie does feature some fluid and effective camera work. Franco did a good job making Bloody Moon feel like an energized and stylish outing. As uninteresting and nonsensical as the plot is, at least the film moves along at a good pace and manages to stay entertaining despite its bad acting and stupid characters. The effects are a mixed bag, and the film doesn't have as much gore as you would expect or hope for. Bloody Moon also features one of the dumbest cat scares I've ever seen in a horror flick. The way it is edited, it makes you think the cat was turning the doorknob and slowly opening the door before launching at Angela.
Well, what do you know? Right beside mine. Not bad, huh? Wouldn't if you're not superstitious about numbers.
You mean number 13? No problem.
That's not all. A girl in the very same bungalow was murdered brutally in her bed.
Honestly, how gruesome. That's a bit far-fetched.
No, I heard about it. It's a fact. The killer used a pair of scissors and just kept stabbing her.
I'll have nightmares if you go on telling all your horror stories. You've quite a repertoire of chilling tales.
Bloody Moon is often described as Franco's take on the American slasher film, but in actuality it's his take on Italian giallos. I didn't see much of the American slasher film in Bloody Moon's DNA. I did, however, see the European giallo influence throughout. So I'm not sure why reviewers keep comparing it to American slashers from the early 80s when it doesn't really exhibit any of the aesthetics from those movies. The film's finale features the reveal of multiple killers and a cool chainsaw kill. Bloody Moon was released on VHS in 1985 by Transworld Entertainment, but the movie remained an obscure and forgotten slasher. The movie didn't fare much better overseas when it was released in 1981 and fell into obscurity despite gaining infamy for being listed as video nasty. Bloody Moon isn't a good movie. It's a trashy and mildly amusing slasher that manages to deliver the occasional cool kill or unintentionally hilarious moment. I personally found it entertaining enough, but I would not recommend it to the casual 80s horror fan.
And what about your lovely companion?
Angela, this is Antonio, our gardener, tennis ace, and the best piece of property the club owns.
Stop it, Inga.
That's not all. As a lover, he's fantastic. Antonio, am I wrong or right?
If you really want to see, try me out one night.
Oh! How can you just look at me It wasn't my fault. I bet he's never even made it with the girl, the phony Spanish lover. I'll get my revenge, you'll see.
I'd like to make love with you.
So would I.
Nobody will see us over here.
Oh, but don't rush me.